Hey everybody, this is Michael back again. Sorry for the long hiatus. I was a bit busy. Had a job, got laid off. So, back in the job market again. But that kind of leads me into this quote because I actually just got off a job interview. And, like most job interviews, they're giving you a presentation. There's a PowerPoint presentation. It was like, oh, this is what we do, compensation, blah, blah. And then he got to the plan for success. Now, a lot of it was, pretty standard interviewing stuff. Generic like, oh, build a family. By the way, any company that says family or anything, just you can already mark that as a point against them because they're just trying to buy you in, essentially. But during the presentation, there was a quote that kind of stuck out to me, and I liked it because it's actually reflecting on what's going on currently in my life. And I don't know who quoted it. I don't know where it came from. I don't know if it was the presentator's own personal thing or if he pulled it from somewhere, but it was literally up there and had no. I didn't, and I wasn't going to ask him in the middle of the interview because I had more important things like trying to find an income. But the quote is people don't plan to fail; they fail to plan, and that is, I believe, like 99% of the reason why people fail in general, no matter what they set out to do. So it's because they don't have a proper plan. Um, because I mean, if with the job, I liked it. Of course, like all jobs, we got our complaints and gripes about it. Um, but ultimately, I was happy with it. I was learning information that I found useful. I was helping other people, and of course, putting food on the table. So check all three of those boxes. But it became apparent, especially within the last month, that the company was going to be making layoffs. Did I plan for it? No. Should I? Oh, absolutely. Because if I had taken what I saw and then I started to make plans for it, I'd be in a better situation than I am now, which is unemployed. Because maybe I could have had interviews, during the last couple weeks or anything like that, But actually, that makes me think of another quote. I think it was Eisenhower, I believe, who said, plans are disposable, but planning is invaluable. And meaning, like, if you have a plan of like, oh, okay, my plan is to stick with this job and then finish my certification and then go off find another job. That was my plan. But I didn't really critique this plan. I didn't have a backup plan, and then I also didn't put any kind of testing into this plan. And so my plan of stick with this job, finish my certification, go off and find a better job, clearly didn't work. Why? Because it depended on me keeping that job. No one ever plans on losing their job, well, generally. So that being said, back to the quote, no one plans to fail. People just fail to plan. And so I failed to plan a backup. If this job, I start seeing the signs, the layoffs, and, it's getting worried, talking to my coworkers, and of course, management is never going to be honest with you because, if you're a manager, because I've been a manager a few times, and I literally, have been asked, oh, hey, is the company going to be doing layoffs or anything like that? And of course, me as a manager, what I was told was, no, we're all fine and it's going to be great. So I want to tell my employees that. Well, then corporate, is making decisions above, and then they come and tell you, oh, hey, by the way, you need to let everyone know that they're being let go. Like, now the manager is a liar, and you could say, but at the same time, they were completely ignorant, and that's been the case of many times. Most of the time, managers have no idea what's going on above them, and that's kind of just the beast, it's what it is, that's just the beast. But you should always have a plan and a backup plan, and then a backup plan. And because if you have a plan and it doesn't go well, instead of just being like, oh no, I don't know what to do, if you have a backup plan, if you spent like a day just planning things out, it will help you so much more when it comes to the time where your plans kind of fail. Um, as you know, I've quoted Dr. Jordan Peterson, and I'm almost finished with the book, maybe a little about 3/4 away, um, of the 12 rules of life. And one of the things that he drives into that is having a routine. And that's one thing a lot of people use work as their routine. Um, they base their whole life around work, and then when they get off, they kind of just do whatever. And I was like that, and I still kind of am, But if where's my phone? Ugh. So I'll just kind of a nice little example, just because I don't want to be up on here trying to tell you, hey, do this, that. Okay, so it's a little messed up, but here we are. Okay, the color is all, but you see that is essentially every Friday I've been sitting down and plotting out just my week. Now this is showing you like it's populated, but that's because I set it up a schedule. But every Friday I review it and make any changes to the next week, and that's because he's right. Dr. Peterson's right. If you don't have a routine, you feel lost. I wake up and sometimes I'm just like, oh, I don't know what to do. Should I continue with my training, my certification? Should I, that's important because I finished that, I can go get myself a better job and, a livable income. Or should I continue to work, to maybe revise my resume a third time this week, and continue to just spam the apply button, on going on websites. And, these are two very important things, but, you also have to have a schedule. So like, what, do you just do 8 hours of just job hunting? Okay, well then what about your certification? And so some days I will job hunt for 6, 8 hours, whatever. And, by the end of the day, if I don't get a response back, or if by the end of the week, all I've gotten is rejection letters, I don't feel like I've done anything productive other than get rejected. And being rejected is not productive. Yeah, you could say, oh, well, at least you're trying. Trying doesn't pay the bills. Trying doesn't, feed me. Like, that doesn't do anything other than just remind you that you were rejected. And so by planning your week out, by planning like segments, so I'm like, okay, from 8 to 10, I used to start work at 8, so I kind of got into that habit. So I'm like, okay, cool. From 8 o'clock to 10, I'm going to work on my certification. I'm going to take a nice little break, and then from like 11 to 12 or whatever your thing is, that's when you start looking for a job, and that's what I'm finding is most beneficial for me. I'm trying to be successful. I'm trying to raise my status as a person, as a member of society, and the only way you can do that is to be decisive, to know what you're doing, to know where you're going. So you need to have a plan. You need to have a routine. So that being said, like I said, the quote, again, don't know who said it, don't know where it came. If you happen to know, please, feel free to leave in the comments or anything like that. But most people don't plan to fail. They just fail to plan. So, but hope everything's going well for you guys, and guys and girls, and every other demographic. It's holiday season. I hope it's the best. I hope there's much love for you guys, a lot of food. Food is probably my favorite thing in the world, and I hope you guys have plenty of it. All right, so take it easy.